Hey everyone, and welcome to my worst nightmare. I have my suitcases all packed up again. Yes, I'm about to head on another plane again, but this time it has been so stressful. So I have a week off from work and I'm going home, which is very exciting, especially because a lot of my family members don't know I'm going. My mum and dad do because they needed to take time off work to be around the house with me because I'm super codependent and I just can't be by myself. But like my brother and sister-in-law and niece and nephew do not know that I'm coming, so I'm gonna go surprise them, and that is very exciting. But the excitement of this occasion has well and truly been completely overshadowed by my packing nightmare. I uploaded a video, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks ago. I don't know when it went up because my upload schedule has gone to complete and utter pieces, but I uploaded a video basically explaining that even though I'm going to be living in Kuwait until the beginning of June, this trip that I'm taking is the trip where I am moving everything pretty much that I own back home to the UK. So I've been frantically trying to pack everything into these suitcases to move back to the UK, and it is a nightmare. I'm just freaking out. I'm such a light packer generally that having this much luggage, it makes me feel physically sick. I like to keep my handbag pretty much empty when I fly. I mean, I can barely lift this thing. It's like it weighs more than I do because I'm trying to disperse the weight. I got too much weight in my check-in luggage. The hand luggage is allowed like an extra 13 kilograms, I think, which is a lot, but it's got to fit in the overhead compartment. So you think you got a lot of luggage allowance, but really you don't, okay? Because not much can fit in that case. Let me just show you the fact that I've literally packed pretty much my entire life into 2 suitcases because this is all I have left for when I come back to Kuwait. And I'm gonna bring some stuff back with me, but like I own these clothes, 2 pairs of shoes, an empty Pringles tube because why not, and then some pajamas and some socks. Everything else is in the suitcases and it's taken me 3 days to get that all done. I need to pack up the last few things and then I'm going to head out. This journey is gonna suck because I booked super last minute, not even super last minute, marginally last minute, and this journey was horrifically expensive, but it's still 3 flights. To fly direct, it's like 5 hours. The route I'm taking is gonna take about 14 hours, and it still cost me nearly £500. I don't even know. How would they charge me this much? Right, I need to stop ranting and procrastinating and actually get my butt to the airport, okay? So it's been a solid 24 hours since I last checked in with you guys. I didn't vlog any of my going home journey experience. And that's because it was horrendous pretty much from start to finish. Well, not to finish, but the vast majority of it was just so bad. So when I got to the airport, there was this huge queue to get into the airport, which I was not anticipating. And I was like, it's fine. I got like 2 hours, 45 minutes to check in and get to my gate. That's plenty of time. It was not plenty of time because I was flying, even though I booked my flights with KLM, the first part of that journey from Kuwait to Abu Dhabi was with Etihad. And I've never really had to check in with Etihad before. I've like flown into Kuwait with them, but like coming off of a KLM flight. So KLM have done all the hard work and then like Etihad just take you like the last hop, skip and a jump. But this time I had to check in with Etihad and it was the worst travel experience of my life. I've traveled for like 15 hours with pneumonia and this was worse than the pneumonia thing, like worse. So I rocked up at the Etihad like check-in counter and the queue was so long. I mean, it was obstructing the rest of the airport and people were getting confused. There were like queues just like out in the middle of the airport because everyone was waiting just for Etihad for some unknown reason, and the queue just didn't move. I was in this queue for an hour and a half and it just wasn't moving, and at this point I'm like hey, in like 20 minutes my flight is gonna be boarding, and the queue at security at this point had also started to get enormous too. So I was like, there is no way I'm getting on this flight. And the cool thing about Kuwait airport is that like no one will help you. No one will help to solve your problems, and like no one would tell me what was happening or how I could fix it or like anything. So I was stressed and I was like, well, I'm not going home then. Literally 10 minutes before we were meant to board the plane, this man came, and there were 4 of us who were meant to be getting on this one like 10 o'clock plane, and he put us to the front of the queue to check in, and then I managed to convince them to let me go through the first class security check instead of waiting in the like 45-minute long queue, because I was like, if I get in this queue I'm gonna miss my flight. And so I went through the first class security check and then ended up getting my passport stamped in the VIP diplomats queue. Like, I definitely shouldn't have been there. That's for like really important people, like kings and queens. And then I was just there like, please stamp my passport, I've got a flight to catch. Then they changed the gate twice, so I'm running around the airport with, I mean, you saw those bags, right, that I was carrying. I'm running around the airport with those bags back and forth, sweating, crying, feeling really badly. And then the flight got delayed, which freaked me out because I had a connection in Abu Dhabi and I only had an hour between landing and getting the next flight taking off, and I'm like, well, I'm just never getting home and I'm just gonna die on this journey because the stress is too much. And it was just horrendous, and I feel like, Etihad, what are you doing? But luckily I did get the connection, obviously, because here I am in my bed. But I got the connection and it was with KLM, and I do love KLM, and they did make everything okay because they are my favorite airline. And I know it's such a weird thing to have such strong feelings about an airline, but if you've flown with KLM, you probably know. Whatever. But at this point, I think I've been awake for, I don't know what time it is. I think I've been awake for about 37 hours. So and make of that what you will. I know this is not the greatest start to the vlog because all I've done thus far is just rant about a variety of things, but hey, welcome to my YouTube channel where I like to rant. Speaking of ranting, at some point I really need to get to work on unpacking all of my stuff, which is just spread everywhere throughout the house. I mean, obviously I'm not mentally strong enough to do that right now, so I'm just not going to. But for now, even though it's only like 6:30 in the afternoon, I'm probably just gonna throw on my PJs and get ready for bed. So, with the sun streaming in on my face, I say good night, everyone. Well, it's already Thursday and this week is flying by. I just can't keep track of the days. I don't know whether I'm coming or going. So the other day, as you saw, we went to the Museum of Welsh Life, which was like my favorite place to go when I was little, and apparently it's still super fun when you're a grown-up as well, because I had a great time. And basically it's like they've picked up and moved all these really old houses and buildings from around Wales and put them in one big outside museum, and then you can go and look around the houses. It's nice. It's a good time. Also went with my dad and we went to see The Greatest Showman, which was very good. I almost feel like I live in a cave, because people were talking about The Greatest Showman and I had never even heard of it. I don't know if I'm like living 100 years behind the rest of the world, and there are cinemas in Kuwait. These things are totally available in Kuwait, but it just seems like, I don't know, I'm cut off from the rest of the world maybe, because I'd never even heard of it, but it was very good. I also feel that way about music. I've put on the radio a couple of times this week. Don't know a single song that's on the radio. What's that about? It's like I'm visiting from 2016 or something. I don't know. Today we are going to go shopping to get some stuff that I need to take traveling with me. I'm not looking forward particularly, no offense, because because I don't like to shop. It's such hard work, so we have to do that. But then we're gonna go for coffee this afternoon, and then because it's such nice weather and characteristically so, we are gonna have a barbecue. Okay, so let's go shopping, buy some things. I'm pouting right now because it's already time for me to go back to Kuwait, and I feel like I just got here. 1 week is not long enough to visit home, and it's better than nothing. I'm not complaining, but it went so quickly. It feels like I just got here and I am not ready to go back yet. I'm really sad. I'm also smothered with a cold, so there's that. But I've pretty much spent all day. I had to run to the shops earlier to get some last minute stuff to go traveling with, and then I've been packing, which is the bane of my life. I hate packing. You would think that as someone who literally packs a case every month that I would be good at it and I would be over this whole aversion, but I'm not. I hate it more now than ever, but I feel pretty good about my backpack because I'm taking the backpack back with me, and we weighed it and it's only 12 kilograms, so that's amazing. I mean, 12 kilograms for 5 weeks. Go me and my minimalist packing. So I think I'm gonna make a whole video about packing for like that big trip and what I'm taking and all of that. I think I'll do a whole video about that. I'm not gonna do it now because that would involve unpacking everything. But here is the backpack. And okay, it looks super full right now, but that's because I just stuffed it full of like 8 boxes of snacks to take back with me. But it is actually still pretty empty. And then this bit clips on top and that's completely empty, so I'm doing pretty well. But for right now, it's pretty late. I think it's like 8:30 and I have to get up at 2 to go to the airport for what will be a 22-hour journey. So I'm just gonna take a bath, put my pajamas on, go to bed and leave home again. So yeah, sorry, I'm sure this whole vlog has been a little bit all over the place and like a strange assortment of things, but hopefully it was okay. Hopefully you guys liked it. I just wanted to give you a bit of an insight into this whole week at home and what that was about. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I guess I'll see you guys when I get back to Kuwait. Bye guys.